It's Gila Nehemia, sacred erotic self-love poet, mentor, and mystic. Happy Christmas Eve for those of you who are celebrating. I hope you have your beautiful stuff, trees, candles, whatever you do, the twinkling lights. I grew up in New York, so I always remember Christmas with fondness. And, there's definitely that holiday cheer in the air. So, and I don't see snow here in Israel, but I loved, making snowmen and playing in the snow, with angels. So those of you who are in snowy places, let me know. Let me know if you're celebrating Christmas. I'd love to wish you Merry Christmas. Wherever you are in the world, Christmas is not just in cold places. It's all over the world. So I thought it's fitting today as we talk about the root chakra. So this is day 14 of the Intimate Self-Love Affirmation Challenge. And I am Gila Nehemia. Thanks you for those of you who are joining and those who are watching on the replay when this goes on replay. I'm Gila Nehemia. I'm a sacred erotic self-love poet, mentor, mystic, and author. And I've been doing this series now for the past, today is the 14th day, so for 13 days. If you haven't seen all of them, I definitely recommend going to YouTube because I have a playlist and you can easily see them. So I want to thank you for joining. I too, like many of you, have had many challenges in my life, and self-love really brought me back to my center, to our greatness. That's what I'm here to share, that we are great, we are amazing, we have divinity. And that's what I was thinking today. Christmas, right? The birth of Christ. So isn't this really wonderful? So nice. Thank you, Asif. Happy Christmas, Gila. Happy Christmas, Gail. It's cold in UK. No snow. Lovely to be with you live, Gail. Thank you for sharing. Please, others join in. Tell us where you are in the world. I'd love to know. I was just thinking, as I was preparing for the live today, that the birth of Christ. And so what better day? It's actually, it's not Christmas Day yet. Christmas Day is tomorrow, though. What better day today as we're talking about the root chakra and love, and security and safety. Many people who believe in Jesus Christ, I believe in Christ consciousness, which is like a consciousness of love. And so, the more that we can actually be in that consciousness of love, of safety and security, we can have it within us. Some of you may be religious and look to those scriptures, and that's amazing, great. If you're finding security and safety in that, wonderful. And I'm encouraging you to also believe that there is safety and security within yourself. So that's going to be what we're going to talk about today. And so without further ado, I would love to actually do a prayer. So the way that this goes, if some of you haven't been listening for a while, I do a prayer, we do some movement, then we breathe. I share some affirmations with you, we do a meditation, and then we do some reflection. So just like yesterday, and I didn't close the gap on that. For those of you who came yesterday and were thinking about your desire, I hope you reflected later on how you felt before and after. So we're going to try this this time. How do you feel right now about safety? If you want to just think about it or write it down, I'd love to, I'd love for you to share it in the comments if you feel comfortable with doing that. Otherwise, just write it on the side. How you feel right now with your body, like how do you feel safe? And I'd love for you to check in with yourself after the session, because I would just love to know if anything has changed or if you how you feel. So that'll be great. So we're going to set an intention right now. I'm going to pray on my crystals. So if you'd like to set an intention with me, close your eyes. And my prayer is to, first of all, call in our guides, our light team, our angels, God, source, universe, our ancestors to assist us in grounding our own power in safety and security. Assist us in that process. Help us to find how to be more comfortable and safe and secure within ourselves. Connect us within our heart space to each other. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, those of you who are here. So we're going to do some movement. We're going to do some stretching like we did yesterday. And I'm going to see how far you can actually see, because I like you. I'm going to go, I don't know how far you can see. Anyway, so I'd like you to first do some stretching just to stretch up, just to stretch up and to the sides. You could just do that a few times. Stretch up all the way and to the sides. This is about balance. Balance really right here. The root chakra is right here. It's right here in our tailbone. So it's right at the base of the spine. So this is a super important place. Just to do squats is super important. I don't think you can see. Let me see if I can bring the camera down a bit. Those of you who feel comfortable to just squat all the way down. You can't see my feet, but your feet could be flat on the floor. So your knees are up. And just sitting in that squatting position can give, in India, this is how they sit. That's how they go to the toilet. And it's actually very grounding. And it's actually really good for the muscles. So it's really good to sit in this format just to feel grounded, either outside or right in your house. And, I know when I was with my kids, I was always more on the floor when they were small. So that really made sense. Also, you could sit cross-legged. I don't think you could see me, but you could sit cross-legged and put your hands on your knees. And that's also very grounding. Or even put your hands in, in the heart position, the anahat, to the anahat chakra, your heart chakra. And you can sit like this. It can be also very grounding. There are just some movements I wanted to show you. There's more floor movements, but you can't really see me. So also just going straight down. And if you could touch go as far down as you can, and actually see if you can put your head to your knees. This is also very grounding. Okay. And I just would like you to just feel into that. It's also right in the hips, like we were doing a bit yesterday. So just feel into your hips, ground into your hips to stay straight with a straight back. And just feel that stretch in the spine. Just to open up your heart. This is a day of love of the heart. Really feel into that place at the back of your spine. We'll just feel right here. Put your hands right there. This is the tailbone, right at the tip of your butt. It's right there, just so that you physically know where that's located. And this is the place. The root chakra is the place. Thank you for doing some of that, those exercises with me. And you could do, there's a lot of different, I was looking it up actually today. There's a lot of different root chakra exercises. There's meditations and things like that. So we're going to do some breathing exercises just to ground this in a bit better. And we're just going to take some 3 deep breaths. Actually, let's make it 5. 5 deep breaths. And at your own pace, whatever you feel comfortable with, this is all about safety. So I want you to feel safe in whatever you're doing. So choose whatever deep breaths you like to take. So you take 5 deep breaths with me. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And the affirmations that I have today are, I'm going to talk a little bit about this right now. I am safe. I am loved. I am secure. Let's say that 3 times together. We could say just as it is. I am safe. I am loved. I am secure. I am safe. I am loved. I am secure. Let's say it one more time. I am safe. I am loved. I am secure. And I talked today about safety, because really this is about safety. The root chakra is about safety. If you've been in relationships, I talk a lot about relationships because it's really important. You know, many of our romantic relationships, going back from the sacral chakra, I wanted to follow up on the sacral chakra. So that's what we did yesterday. The sacral chakra is about our sex center, you know, our yoni, our lingam, you know, where our womb space, it's all right there in our sacral chakra. And many people sometimes, you know, don't feel that comfortable to be really open with someone. And we're not talking about sex, we're talking about intimacy. We're talking about vulnerability. And it's related to the root chakra, which is why I decided to do the root chakra today. So they're all very related. And when you feel safe, you feel open, you feel expansive, you feel like you can create, you know. So they're very interconnected, as are all the chakras, but since they're very close in proximity as well. So what I wanted to share was what came to me before I was doing this live today was about codependency. Many of you might have been in relationships like I was, where I was dependent on my partner to do certain things for me when I was married, and I felt obligated, and I felt that I needed to do things, and he needed to do things, and you know, and that was the way it was. Though I realized that wasn't satisfying, you know, and that was creating security in somebody else, you know, which is why when he passed away, it was like, oh my goodness, you know, even though I knew it was coming, you know, it was like, it was kind of a buildup because he wasn't well. So it was, you know, it was still kind of like very upsetting to me. Even though I did a lot of things on my own, to be quite honest, I knew how to really take care of myself. But what I'm trying to say is we depend on people or things or places, right? So we depend on our, maybe on our houses, our cars, our jobs. You know what? That's why it becomes so traumatic. Let's say if we've lost our job, or we've lost our house, or you know, our parents, you know, of course, where anybody passes away, it is very traumatic in and of itself. Though when you're looking for security in somebody else, it never works out well. That's just how I feel. Because when I can find security and stability in myself, then I know that I'm safe. My safety does not depend upon another person. So, and it does not depend on another physical object. It depends on my energy. So, and I was thinking about the word grounding. You know, some people say, oh, you know, your root chakra is about grounding. And I always thought, what does that mean? What does it mean to ground? You know, like go out in nature and ground. What does that mean? That means to find stability. Some of the exercises I just showed you right now is finding stability. You know, sitting, when you sit, to sit on your butt, you know, like completely and squarely, so that you're not like on one side, you know. And even when you're balanced, when you're doing balancing poses, you know, and let's say you're on one foot, but you are still completely straight. So it's like somebody can have one foot, but they're completely straight. They're able to straighten themselves, even if they have to use a support. So, you know, and that is an exercise of also when we sit straight, it's also completely lengthening our spine and trusting in all of the bones to allow us to sit in that way. So what I'm trying to say is the more that we can ground ourselves in our own body, connect to our own body, into our physical body, and realize that we are safe. Many times we have fear because we have this fear of survival. You know, we have this fear that we're not going to survive. We're going to die. You know, we're going to lose our job. We're going to die. We're going to, somebody, you know, we get into a breakup and we're going to die. It like feels so bad, you know, feels so like heart wrenching. And I know I've been there. I totally felt like that too. But I realized every single time I was able to get back up and I was able to create something else that was new and exciting and wonderful. Though I had to learn the lesson, so why do I talk about codependency? Because when I realized I don't want to be in a codependent relationship with anybody anymore, not with anybody. I want to be in an interdependent relationship where we're both equals, we're both independent, and we desire to be with each other, but we don't need each other for survival. There's a difference there. The needing is that's why sometimes you feel guilty because, somebody needs you to feel better. But, when we can create our own happiness. We can create our own pleasure by the things that we do, by the ways that we feel. And then we can also create our own stability in our lives. It doesn't matter what we do because we are safe and stable. The universe always has our back. I don't know if you noticed, but in my life, I've noticed even in the most challenging of my situations, it always changed. Someone said something very wise to me when I was here and in this place. And I didn't have a lot, moved into this house. I didn't have a lot of things. I had just come back from India. I sold all my stuff before I got here. And she's like, sometimes we're down, sometimes we're up. And that's true. But when we can stay stable in whatever time it is, it's like when we're still stable in the chaos, that is amazing. That is a real strength. I wanted to share a poem with you, and I don't know where my phone is. So I'm just going to pull it up real quick. But I wanted to know your thoughts about that. How do you feel about stability? What do you think about what I'm saying? I would just love to know. So if anybody wants to share, I'm here to listen. I love to hear your thoughts. And here I found the poem, so I'm going to read it to you as you're thinking, as you're deciding to share or not share. I completely understand whatever you choose to do. This poem is called Trust. It's a really short poem. I wrote this in September of 2019. Actually, just the time right before I moved into this house. So very, very synchronous. Swimming in the blue waters, jumping backwards like a child, trusting my divine guidance, receiving the goodness penetrating every pore of my body, seeing the shimmering light of the sun like spider webs on the floor, sensing your touch seeping into the dark crevices of my inner world, penetrating the dormant spaces that left me vulnerable and raw. You slowly and adroitly pierce my heart with your brushstrokes. Love revealing in the silence between the pauses. Your wetness, hardness, and softness awakening me in the shadows. Like a night animal's glowing eyes, your primal nature frightens and excites me. I no longer question the goddess within me that arouses. I beckon her forward in my unstoppable, courageous power and strength. I stand naked before you, ready for your embrace and open to the forces that carry me forth. Like a dragon, I breathe in love and I breathe out fire. Now, I hope you like that. And that was a love poem. And so what I wanted to share with that is to really vulnerably love, really vulnerably love. Like, naked is the soul. It's not necessarily the body. It's naked in the soul. It's about trusting yourself, trusting your own safety, not in another's hands, in your own hands. So I want to just emphasize that the trust that I'm talking about in that case is not about giving my power to somebody, but trusting in my own power and making that decision to be balanced in myself with another. And that's not always an easy decision to make. For those of you who have experienced this kind of thing, it's, because we're coming with so much baggage, sometimes really hard to trust. It's hard to feel safe in our body when we've never felt safe. It's hard to feel that we can do everything and still, use other people's help and still feel safe and secure and not get frightened. And so that's the space I'm inviting you into. And I feel like it's very synchronous that it's on Christmas Eve, right before Christmas Day, to feel that safety, to remind yourself, I am safe, I am loved, I am secure. So I'd love for you to think about those 3 affirmations as we do a really a short 2-minute meditation. So I'll make the sound and we'll just close our eyes for 2 minutes. So we're going to open our eyes in a few minutes. Actually, in just a couple of seconds. I just wanted to let you know. We'll come back into the room. I hope you enjoyed those few minutes of silence, and just wanted to know if anything was coming up for you. As we talked about earlier in the live, those of you who might have joined from the beginning, how did you feel when you first started, and do you feel any different now? I am feeling very safe. I feel safe. Just want to say that I feel safe and secure. And I felt safe and secure before, and I just feel really centered now from when I started. So I don't know about how you are feeling, and know that this is a process. And even if you don't feel a big change in your feelings, or maybe you did, and how to keep that up. Well, I definitely recommend, if this is resonating with you, to connect with me, because it's not, it's about affirmations and it's about healing and understanding, but it's not just here, right? It's inside of our body. That's why we went through the head, and the third eye, the eyes. We went through all the different parts of the body. Right now we're in the root chakra. And tomorrow we're going to do the legs. So Christmas Day is the legs. Do some holiday cheer with the legs. Someone shared, Gail, thank you. Wow, so powerful today. The exercise and poem, and to sit in the stillness of my heart made me feel very emotional. And yes, safe too. Thank you so much, Gail. I truly appreciate you sharing. That is so amazing. And I really appreciate that, because when we are able to sit still and feel safe in another's presence and in our own presence, that is amazing. The silence does a lot. So much of my time I was busy because I didn't want to be silent. I was afraid of the silence. I was afraid to be alone, because so much of my life I'd have so many people around me. And once I actually was okay with being alone, that was really helpful for me, actually, moving from codependence to interdependence. The stillness, like the space. And I thank you for sharing that, Gail, because it's really important. That space, the pause, that pause, however it is, it manifests in your life, was really important for me to feel into that silence and to allow that silence. Change happens when we're okay with ourselves, when we aren't trying to, sometimes, and I want to share this because many of you, I know I've been talking to a lot of people, and many people have been feeling scared to change because they're so used to the way things have been, but they haven't necessarily been great all the time. So the more that we can decide that we are ready for change because we are desiring something even greater than we haven't experienced, and then we can receive the change. It's allowing yourself to receive the change and to trust that the change is going to be better than what we're currently experiencing, because change is always good. And these things, the throat chakra, the lapis is really good for the throat chakra. The rose quartz is really good for the heart chakra. Red is the color of the root chakra. I was actually thinking grounding is good to eat a lot of vegetables that grow in the ground. Like I had pumpkin and carrot soup yesterday. Butternut squash, actually. So anyway, those kinds of things will help you to ground, to truly feel, inside safe in yourself, because you can do anything. You are a limitless being with infinite possibilities. And the more that you begin to believe that and say that to yourself, and I'm going to write that down because I think that it's really important. I am an infinite being. I'm just writing it down. Bear with me. I am an infinite being with infinite possibilities. And this is the truth. The more that you can say that to yourself, I'm an infinite being with infinite possibilities. And you can add to that mantra, like, the universe has my back. I am safe. I am secure. I am loved. The affirmations really do work on your subconscious mind. And then it was up to you also to take inspired action. And then people such as myself and others will come to you for healing. And so take the opportunity, allow yourself to be bathed and nurtured in another's guidance, if that is what you are desiring. Because if that is your desire, do not resist it, allow it in. It's okay. It's okay to give that time for yourself, to give that investment in yourself. It's all about you trusting your own body and your own feelings. Because the more you trust them, the more safe and secure you're going to feel. And that's exactly what I did. And that's what really helped me to just trust my thoughts. This series happened because it just came to me and I trusted it and I went with it. And sometimes, to be honest, I do feel tired. 21 days is a long time to do this every day, but every time I get on live, I get, excited, invigorated, inspired by all of you who are watching, and just being here makes me excited, and I get more ideas. So, even if it's challenging, allow yourself the time, the rest, the nourishment to do what you are here to do. If you are feeling called to connect with me, feel free to go to my website, gilanahemia.com. I have all of my poetry is on Medium. There's a link to that. I have these interviews and many more. I have this book that you might be interested in purchasing, 1919, maybe this gift for Christmas to yourself. It's all about different ways to heal yourself by 25 different authors. And I write about sexual healing and erotic words. So, and stay tuned till the very end of the series, because there's something special I'm going to share with you. And I'm not telling you until the end. So make sure that you go until the very end. And if you're interested to book a 15-minute chat with me, feel free to do that. It's right on my website and it's right here. And as you know, I have a number of programs. My writing program, which is normally $888, is now $555 up until December 31st. And I have a wonderful group program that with some beautiful, beautiful women. And, every time it's just a magic. And we meet once a week on Sundays. And all that information is on my website. So please take a look. So I'm just encouraging you to trust in your own guidance, and the way to get there is to feel safe and to feel loved and secure within yourself. And this is the root chakra, right at your tailbone. I'd love for you to massage it and feel into it right now. Sit squarely, sit confidently, because you have everything you need. You are wise. You are amazing. And we do need guidance on the way. We come together, we walk together, we rise together. That's why I focus on interdependence and not independence. There's a difference, because independence is like, I don't need anybody. And that's not true. We do need people. We do need each other to rise, but we don't need to be codependent. We can survive without each other, though we become better when we work together in our power. So that's the difference. When you're interdependent, you are a sovereign being. You are the queen or the king of your domain, and you desire assistance. You desire and you want to grow with others. So there's a difference there. So I wanted to stress that difference. And I wanted to just thank each and every one of you for being here today. And for any of you who are celebrating the holidays, happy Christmas Eve. Enjoy the time with your families. Enjoy the time with yourself, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I will be here tomorrow on Christmas Day at the same time. And we will be focusing on, actually, I think I'll just be doing the thighs. We're doing the thighs tomorrow. And we'll be focusing on the thighs, and we'll have some fun with our thighs. It is a very, very sensual part of our bodies, and very strong. So if you'd like to join me, I'm here. And I'm wishing you so much love and light, to have really just give yourself some nurturing time, take a bath, really do things for yourself and your loved ones today. So if you're feeling any kind of stress, take a breath. Just remind yourself, I am safe, I am loved, I am secure. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for joining. You are amazing, you are beautiful, you are abundant, you are love. So, so special on this special Christmas Eve. Namaste, Shanti, Shalom. Sending you so much love and light. Bye-bye until tomorrow.